A gracious good day to one and all once again. 'Tis I, Norton the First by grace of God, Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico, back with you all once again for episode number 120 of Emperor Norton's fantastic history vlog. Today is August 18, 2020. It is our 154th day under COVID-19 restrictions, getting a bit of a breeze this morning. We hope that the microphone does not pick it up too much, but it was such a nice day, as we've been having a lot of them lately. Over the weekend, it got into the 90s here in San Francisco, which is highly unusual. And we had thunder and lightning, which is even more unusual. We'll post a picture, the most spectacular one we've seen. And it was really something. Of course, we slept through it all. What can we tell you? Well, let's begin with our national days. And this is Ketchup Day, by the way, but it's a ketchup packet day because we don't want to have this vlog go over 30 minutes, which sometimes it can on a Tuesday. So let's start with August 15, National Failures Day. And World Honeybee Day. We need to take better care of our honeybees, that's for sure. August 16, Wave at Surveillance Cameras Day. Always do that. National Rum Day for you tipplers. August 17, National Thrift Shop Day. Oh, we love thrift shops. The gentleman who they say looks like me used to run one in Laguna Beach called Dorothy's on Broadway. It's a great thrift store. Maybe we'll find a picture of that to put up as well. Where were we? Oh, of course, the most important thing. Yesterday, Black Cat Appreciation Day. So, we've got a black cat, Kafka, so we appreciated him, and as one should. Today is National Ice Cream Day. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And Bad Poetry Day. So we decided to look up the worst poem, according to the internets. And it is The Tay Bridge Disaster by William McGonagall. And we'll just read you a couple of stanzas from it. Beautiful railway bridge of the silvery Tay. Alas, I am very sorry to say that 90 lives have been taken away on the last Sabbath day of 1879, which will be remembered for a very long time. That's the beginning, now the ending. O ill-fated bridge of the silvery Tay, I now must conclude my lay by telling the world fearlessly, without the least dismay, that your central girders would not have given way, at least many sensible men do say, had they been supported on each side with buttresses. At least many sensible men confesses. Oh, that's terrible. For the stronger our houses do build, the less chances we have of being killed. Well, there's some good advice, isn't it? Okay, Florida Man. We had to choose a highlight from over the weekend. Oh, I'm sorry about we are sorry about the winds. Hopefully it's sounding okay, but it really just all of a sudden came up. Weather here is very unpredictable. So, Florida Man. Florida man suspected of murdering couple was caught biting victim's face off. Or, got two today. Florida man arrested after performing castration surgery. Take your pick. Our San Francisco story, we're only doing one today because it's important and a little extensive, but we'll try to do some highlights as well from some of the other days. And that would be Maya Angelou graduates high school. Maya Angelou was by the way, forgot to mention that we are relying as our source material John Ralston's wonderful book, This Date in San Francisco. Now on with the story. Maya Angelou was the first poet to read at a presidential inauguration, Bill Clinton's 1993, since Robert Frost, who wrote Frosty the Snowman, read at President Kennedy's in 1961, and she was the first African-American woman to participate in a presidential inauguration in any capacity. Maya got the nickname from her brother Bailey, calling her my sister. Maya, okay. was born Marguerite Johnson in St. Louis in 1928. Her parents moved to Southern California in the early 1930s, and when their marriage broke up, Maya and her brother were shipped to Stamps, Arkansas, to live with their grandmother, the town's dominant black businesswoman. When Maya was an adolescent, her grandmother returned her and Bailey to her mother, Vivian, whom the children barely knew. They lived briefly in Oakland until Marion married Daddy Clydell, a successful San Francisco businessman who moved the family to the Fillmore district. Maya was enrolled at a private neighborhood girls' school, but soon transferred to George Washington High School in the Richmond district. It was the first real school, Maya recalled, which was almost entirely due to a strict but effective schoolmarmish civics teacher, Miss Kerwin. Maya was one of only 3 black girls at Washington High, but Miss Kerwin treated all her students with rigid equality, greeting her classes, "Good day, ladies and gentlemen," which Maya had never heard from an adult. If you did well, you were commended, but don't expect special treatment. No teacher's pets. When Maya visited Miss Kerwin years later, she was the same, treating Maya like any other returning student. Maya wondered if she realized she was the only teacher she remembered. As Japanese Americans were relocated out of the Western Addition, blacks who'd come to work in defense industries moved in. Maya experienced racism firsthand. It is looking threatening. After a visit with her father in Southern California ended with her being stranded for a month in Mexico, she returned to San Francisco. Wanting to earn her own money, she applied for a conductor's job on the Market Street Railway. At the office at 58 Sutter Street, the receptionist told Maya that only applicants referred by agencies were being accepted, which was a lie as the job was listed in the Chronicle with no mention of an agency. Maya persisted for 3 months and was finally hired the first black woman conductor in San Francisco. After Maya began earning money on her own, she drifted away from her classmates with her adolescent obsessions over football, student office, braces, and so forth. She continued her high school education at summer school classes at Mission High. Relentlessly curious about everything, including sex, she propositioned the neighborhood boy in 3 weeks after the encounter. She found herself pregnant. She hid the pregnancy until she got her high school diploma on August 17, 1945, 2 days after VJ Day. Her mother, being in Alaska, starting a nightclub, Maya left a note on Daddy Clydell's bed apologizing for being a disgrace to the family. Okay, well, let's move on to the rest of our events over the last few days. On August 15 of 1620, the Mayflower set sail from Southampton, England, with 102 pilgrims on board. 1858, regular mail to the Pacific Coast begins. I hope we'll still be getting regular mail. 1976, U.S. law removes Indians. 1876, excuse me. U.S. law removes Native Americans from Black Hills after gold find. 1911, Procter & Gamble unveils its Crisco shortening. 1914, a male servant of American architect Frank Lloyd Wright sets fire to the living quarters of the architect's Wisconsin home, Taliesin, murders 7 people, and burns the living quarters to the ground. 1945, victory over Japan Day. The Japanese surrender and the end of World War II is announced in Japan due to time zone differences. It was August 14th in the Americas. 1946, Dumont TV network is launched in the U.S. 1947, India gains independence from Great Britain, remains a dominion until 1950. And 1995, the Macarena is released by Los Del Rio. Now, I have spent most of my life avoiding doing the Macarena, and I should have rehearsed this beforehand, but if I remember right, it's no, that's not it. No, wait, it's Macarena. Okay, bad. I know. Sorry. Okay, moving on to August 16. Siamese twins Chang and Eng Bunker arrive in Boston to be exhibited. 1858, Britain's Queen Victoria telegraphs U.S. President James Buchanan for the first time by transatlantic telegraph cable. 1898, Edwin Prescott patents the roller coaster. 1904, New York City begins building Grand Central Station. 1969, the first performance of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young at the Auditorium Theater in Chicago. In 1975, Peter Gabriel quits Genesis. Moving on to August 17, 1807, Robert Fulton's steamboat Clermont begins first trip up the Hudson River. 1846, Commodore Robert F. Stockton of the U.S. Navy annexes California. 1908, Bank of Italy, now Bank of America, opens new headquarters at Clay and Montgomery in San Francisco. 1946, George Orwell publishes Animal Farm in the United Kingdom. 1953, the first eviction of Narcotics Anonymous in Southern California. 1962, the Beatles replaced Pete Best with Ringo Starr. They say Pete Best was the better drummer, but Ringo Starr was the better Beatle. 1998, Monica Lewinsky's scandal. U.S. President Bill Clinton admits in taped testimony that he had an, quote, improper physical relationship, unquote, with the intern, and on the same day admits before the nation he misled people about the relationship. 2012, gay pride events are banned in Moscow for a century. Well, we'll see you in 2112 in Moscow. August 18, 1909, Mayor of Tokyo, Yukio Ozaki, presents Washington, D.C. with 2,000 cherry trees, which President Taft decides to plant near the Potomac River. They're beautiful. 1938, FDR dedicates the Thousand Islands Bridge connecting U.S. and Canada. That is the namesake of Thousand Island dressing. We did not know that. 1958, Lolita is published, the Vladimir Nabokov, excuse me if I mispronounced that, novel. 1958 as well, Perez Prado, Mambo King, receives one of the first gold records, and 1962, Peter, Paul, and Mary released their first hit, If I Had a Hammer. I don't have a hammer. Our births. We miss Steve Martin's birthday on August 14. Sorry about that, Steve. August 15, 1769, Napoleon Bonaparte. 1923, Rose Marie. Don't touch the bow. 1924, Phyllis Schlafly. 1944, broadcaster Linda Ellerby. 1950, Princess Anne on sousaphone. August 16, Otto Mesmer, American cartoonist, the creator of Felix the Cat. 1912, Julia Child, born and raised in Pasadena. Never figured that with her dialect, but it's true. 1888, that's out of order. Oh well. T.E. Lawrence, Lawrence of Arabia. 1913, Menachem Begin, the 6th Prime Minister of Israel. August 17, 1786, Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. 1887, Marcus Garvey, Jamaican-born black nationalist who began the Back to Africa movement among U.S. African Americans. 1896, Leslie Groves, American Army engineer who directed the Manhattan Project and the construction of the Pentagon. 1913, happy birthday to W. Mark Felt, American FBI official and Watergate secret informant known as Deep Throat. 1944, Larry Ellison, American businessman and founder of Oracle. And 1960, Sean Penn, who played Harvey Milk so wonderfully in the movie Milk, and did many other movies as well. August 18, the first child born in the New World, Virginia Dare. Well, first Caucasian child born in the, they say English here. We'll go with that. 1774, Meriwether Lewis, American explorer who helped lead the Lewis, Clark, and Sacagawea expedition. 1904, Max Factor. Yes, the Max Factor, American CEO of Max Factor Cosmetics. 1917, Caspar Kapp Weinberger, U.S. Secretary of Defense in the Reagan administration, but also was one of the people responsible for raising the money to build the Palace of Fine Arts replacement that's there today. Doesn't get much credit for that. 1927, Rosalind Smith Carter, she's 93. She was the first lady, wife of President Jimmy Carter. 1932, Luc Montgolfier, French virologist, Nobel Prize in 2008, discovered HIV. 1933, filmmaker Roman Polanski. 1937, Robert Redford. 1943, funny man Martin Mull, also a great artist. We'll try to put something of his artwork over there. He's a very good artist. 1952, Patrick Swayze. 1992, Frances Bean Cobain. Happy 28th birthday, daughter of Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. Our deaths. August 15, 1057, Macbeth, King of the Scots, slain in battle by the son of King Duncan. 1935, Wiley Post and Will Rogers are killed in a plane crash in Alaska. 1967, René Magritte, the Belgian surrealist. 1975, Clay Shaw, not somebody you may not be familiar with unless you're a Kennedy assassination buff. He was the alleged JFK assassination conspiracist, also a businessman from New Orleans. Check out the Oliver Stone movie, JFK, if you want to learn more about him. Kind of an interesting figure. 2015, Julian Bond, American civil rights leader and politician. Let's move on to August 16, 1854, Duncan Phyfe, furniture maker. 1888, John Pemberton, the inventor of Coca-Cola. 1899, Robert Bunsen, yes, the inventor of the Bunsen burner. 1949, Margaret Mitchell, Gone with the Wind. 1977, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. I want to thank you very much. And 2003, Idi Amin, Ugandan dictator from 1971 to 1979. 2016, John McLaughlin, American commentator, the McLaughlin Group, and an aide to President Nixon. 2018, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Oh, that was a sad day, but wow, what a send-off she got, huh? August 17, 1969, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, German-American architect. 1979, Vivian Vance, of course we remember her from I Love Lucy, The Lucy Show, all those Lucille Ball shows. She, of course, played Ethel Mertz, or I forget what her name was later. Always Ethel, though. 1983, Ira Gershwin, brother of George Gershwin, lyricist. 1990, Pearl Bailey. I said Pearl Bailey. Thank you. And August 18, 1227, Genghis Khan. Oh, I miss him. 1919, Joseph E. Seagram, Canadian distillery founder, Seagram Distilleries. 1990, B.F. Skinner, American psychologist, the Skinner box. Ooh. Apparently I'm part of an experiment I didn't know about. Okay, well, that wraps for today's edition. We're trying to remember whose tagline that was and couldn't remember, but as you know, leave your comments below. Please leave comments below. Share this vlog widely. We just got a few new subscribers, not really sure why, but happy to see that. Would love to see more. We're only averaging about 20 to 30 viewers a day still, so spread the word, please. Also spread the word. We are accepting tips, so here's the information for that. We greatly appreciate all of our generous donors. We're going to check when we get inside to see if there's been too much wind noise. We're going to have to redo this whole thing, but we'll see. Also, if you want more information about the tours that the Countess and I used to do and hope to do again sometime, as well as lots of information about San Francisco history, Check out our information there. By the way, if you're a buff of San Francisco history, check out the San Francisco History Association, sanfranciscohistory.org. Our next meeting via Zoom is coming up on a week from today, actually, at 7 p.m. You can email info@sanfranciscohistory.org to get the link. It's about Ina Coolbrith, the great poet, presented by Alita George. So check that out. Until we see you again, stay safe, stay inside, and stay healthy. If you do go outside, wear a mask. I'm begging you to wear a mask. We want to see this pandemic end. Don't take unproven cures. What's the latest? Oh, yes. Oleander extract. Yeah, that'll kill you. Be kind to one another. Until we see you again, a gracious good day.